MTN SME Hub. Link to growth. Link to success. Link to the ultimate resource for business advice and insights.
Welcome to the Big Small Business Show, the show for our wonderful entrepreneurs all over South Africa, Africa, and even the world right now. And in studio with us today, we've got Guy Park. He's the founder of Jimny Wild. When I first read it, I thought it was Jimmy Wild, and then I realized it was Jimny Wild because he does some interesting things with a product called a Jimny. Let's take a look.
I'm Guy Park. I'm the owner and founder of Jimny Wild. Basically, I am an online retailer for aftermarket accessories and products for the Suzuki Jimny, which has been exceptionally successful in South Africa. Back in 2020, I purchased this little Suzuki Jimny and I got involved in a little bit of the local community. I noticed that there was very few aftermarket accessories available for the specific vehicle. In Europe, however, and in Asia, there was quite a large market with other retailers selling these products. I investigated bringing some of the products in purely for myself, but I noticed that the costs were extremely high. So after a little bit of investigation, I decided, and I found a supplier, I decided to bring in a decent first order for a bunch of products, knowing that I'd probably be able to sell them to the people that I'd met within the community. So I did that and they kind of flew off the shelf. So from then I took the money that I made from that and reinvested into a slightly larger consignment and repeated the process. It became so busy over and above my day job that I decided that I needed to start a website to make it more efficient and for my customers, as well as easier to manage for myself. And that's kind of how the business kicked off. So I think one of the largest challenges that I've had has actually been the South African economy in terms of the rand exchange rate. So all of these products predominantly that I offer are directly imported and based on the US dollar. I think in the last 3 years, I think there's been approximately 35 to 40% decline in the rand, which has dramatically hurt my bottom line. However, to compensate that, the volumes have also grown. As my brand has become more known within the industry, I can see that my volumes have grown. So I think that's offset the rand exchange. However, the other issue is that with a slightly low barrier to entry within the market, I've got a few competitors that I have to deal with. So I'm obviously having to make sure that my brand is relevant within the community. So my customers predominantly are South African based. There's a very, very strong market in the Cape Town region or the Western Cape region. However, most of my customers are from the Gauteng region. However, I've distributed to all the corners of South Africa, as well as Southern Africa, being Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and even recently to Kenya. But beyond that, I've got certain products that are quite niche to my brand, certain products that I've developed myself, and I've shipped those products internationally through, again, from Southern Africa through to United States, Mexico, Beirut, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, all over the place, which has been really humbling to see. And I think that is an opportunity for growth as well, is getting my international shipping sorted out. The fact that 90% of my product range offered on my website is fully imported, there's obviously a huge amount of capital expenditure that needs to be outlaid in terms of importing this product. I don't get terms with my international supplier at this stage, so when I import a large consignment, it costs a lot of money. So it's taken me quite a long time, almost 3 years, to get to the point where I've been able to hold significant amount of stock, as well as be cash positive to invest in other areas of the business. certain advice that I would like to get from an external perspective is what I've just mentioned about the fear of expanding over onto other vehicles. Is that a justified concern? My value proposition with the Suzuki Jimny and Jimny Wild itself as a brand is that I live and breathe the vehicle and the brand and the products that we offer to our community. I'm not a business that sells various products and just say that they work. I know that the products that I offer do what they say they do. So would Allon be able to advise me on should I expand, maybe potentially under a different brand rather than outside of Jimny Wild? And how does he see the expansion of Jimny Wild into other areas of the industry?
Welcome to the Big Small Business Show.
Thank you, Allon. Appreciate you having me.
So you've obviously got a Jimny.
Yes, I do.
Okay, one or more?
Just one at this stage.
Okay.
Bit of pressure to get the new one, but just one at this stage.
I've watched the clip. You wanted some things, you bring it in, you sell it to all your mates. But what makes you think that becomes a business and not just a sideline, side hustle?
So, Allon, I think that's a good question. I never really intended it to be a business, I think. I think it was one of those businesses that kind of grew through the passion of the brand. As you mentioned, it was products that were not available in the South African market at the time. So I located a supplier, started bringing them through my knowledge of import-exports, and kind of started selling it by word of mouth. And it just grabbed momentum and moved from that point, and then been fortunate enough that it has grown into relatively successful enterprise.
But in the clip you mentioned the fact that you still got a daytime job.
Yes, I do.
What is that daytime job?
So I'm in the flooring industry. It's been something that I've been involved with for 19 years, bit of a kind of family business. And post-COVID, the market within the construction industry wasn't fantastic, and I found myself with a little bit of extra time at that stage. And again, with the opportunity, timing was just right. The opportunity with the Jimny and the passion for that vehicle and the community around that vehicle, the opportunity opened itself up to me. But yes, I have maintained my day job in essence with the.
And is it putting pressure on you from a time perspective, or if you say it's a family business, are people getting a little resentful that you're spending some time in the other?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it definitely becomes challenging. I think looking at how to grow my particular side hustle, for lack of a better word, which I want to try and change the narrative on that it's not such a side hustle anymore. And obviously splitting my time. There's only a certain amount of hours in the day. So it has been an open conversation that I've had with being the family business. My brother's the current CEO of the company. We've obviously had to adjust packages to accommodate the number of hours that I get to spend on Jimny Wild. And also I rent space from the premises of the flooring company so that I don't have to split my locations either. So I can be in the office at the same time and operate both at the same time.
Okay, we're going to have to take a break now. When we come back, I've got more questions for Guy.
MTN SME Hub, link to business success.